Dan McCarger with Cole Huggins, his third shutout of the season, this time Alabama Huntsville. And congratulations, Cole, on another great night in the nets for the Mavericks.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. The D made it easy for me. They kept the shots outside. That was kind of the same with the other two shutouts I had. So, I mean, there was a couple scary plays there, but they didn't really. Other than that, they really get any really good scoring chances. So.
You know, Cole, as a goaltender, when you go minutes without seeing shots, sometimes 4 or 5 minutes, is it hard to stay concentrating? You only 17 shots on goal all night. Is it easier when you're seeing 25, 30 shots, or is it easier just because you're having less opportunities?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit harder seeing like not as many shots, but you just have to stay focused throughout the game. There's a lot of times where you kind of your focus laps a little bit, but you kind of have to just keep yourself in check and stay focused. It's definitely a lot harder playing those games, but I definitely like the ones where I get more shots for sure. So,
what about playing a team like Alabama Huntsville? You know what they are. You know that they have one victory on the season. You know that they're not a high-scoring team. Is it difficult to stay focused and deal with what you guys have to do and not worry about who the opponent is on any given night?
Yeah, exactly. Coach really went over that before the game and throughout the week, and you can't take them lightly. I mean, this is college hockey's good, and you can't take any team lightly, or else they're going to beat you. So you got to stay on top of your game.
Well, congratulations. Get some rest tomorrow night. Again, the Mavericks and Alabama Huntsville in round number 2, and we'll see you in the nets tomorrow night, and maybe you'll get number 4 shutout of the season.
Thank you.
Cole Huggins. Mavericks win 4-0 this evening. Don Westfall joining us on the post-game show. Don, Coach happy with, I think, contented with the win, but as he mentioned, kind of a sandwich game. Good first period, good third period, and just a fine second period.
Well, and again, if you look at things at the end of the season, you know, you're going to see a 4-0 score. You're really not going to remember too much about the intensity of the game per se. It was a win. You got to, in order to sweep a team, you need to get the first one, and the fact that you kept them off the board, obviously only giving up 17 shots a game, you're going to like your chances pretty well. You put on 46. Statistically, everything went the Mavericks' way, and then again, at the end of the day, we're pretty happy to see a content win. Not flashy. You're not going to see a lot of necessary highlights. There's some great ones we are going to show you, and some pretty goals nonetheless. But again, the Mavericks, a workmanlike effort to bring about a 4-0 win. We talked about some of the highlights, and take a look at a few of those right now.
It begins with a great pass from Michael Hunterbrinker to Zach Palmquist. Then you're going to see a shorthanded goal here. Bryce Gervais, his first goal of the evening. He's got 2 beautiful goals. Here's a no-goal call, and without seeing it from the top, you can't tell. I think the official got it right. Great shot from Sean Flanagan at the blue line. He buries a one-timer. Go to the second period, and really nothing happens in the second period. Nobody scores, but here's just a weird bounce off the glass, and nearly a goal for Huntsville, but they miss wide on their one opportunity. And there's a collision and a penalty that gave the opportunity to Alabama Huntsville, and Brett Knowles goes to the box, but nothing came of that. Then here's just a fantastic pass. Zach Palmquist, Bryce Gervais, backhander, 4-0.
So Gervais gets credit for a couple of very nice goals. Give him credit for those goals on the play, but you also have to credit the guys who made those immediately, the passes prior to those. Hunterbrinker was great, and Palmquist with a nice long pass,
You know, 2 of the better passes that we've seen in a while when you look at that pass from Hunterbrinker and from Palmquist. So a good night for the Mavericks overall, as you mentioned, 4-0. Shots on goal, dominating. Power play, 2 for 3. 2 for 3, you'll take that any time. Mavericks only 4 minutes in penalties all night long, and face-offs they won it 32-28 after being down after 1 period. So a pretty sound, solid victory for the Mavericks tonight.
Probably a season low for penalty minutes.
I would think so.
And again, the Mavericks obviously coming in, they're doing a great job on the penalty kill nonetheless, but nice to stay out of the box to the extent that they did. And with the results of tonight's contest, we can also let you know Ferris State ended up with the win tonight, so they keep pace with that 2-point lead in front of MSU Mankato. Michigan Tech, Bowling Green immediately behind the Mavericks. Again, depending on where Bowling Green and Anchorage ends up, those are the teams right now you want to make that gap in there. Again, now the Mavericks with another game under their belt. They have 5 remaining. They have 10 more points yet to get on the season. So 34-35 looks to be pretty magical for MSU if they can get to that. We talked about some of the out-of-town scores. Dan, anything really jump out to you?
Well, you know, Alaska with a nice win over Tech. Nothing there. Superior State, Northern Michigan. That does matter for the bottom part of the standings. The Ferris State game's obviously the big one. Gophers in Michigan now 4-3. The Gophers had a 4-1 lead in that game. Bowling Green and Anchorage coming up, and St. Cloud hanging on to a 2-goal lead over Duluth. Nebraska over Denver 4-2. Ohio State with a nice win over Wisconsin. That's a tough one for Wisconsin after getting a sweep last weekend against the Gophers in the Big Ten.
Showed you just how fickle things can be.
Yes.
As good as they played last week, and they give one away tonight. Our save of the game, and a pretty quick save there by Cole Huggins. I appreciate what he said. Obviously, tried to stay in the game a little bit tough when you're only seeing 17 shots. The team played well in front of him. They did what they had to do, and Huggins, again, while it's going to go in the books as a shutout, with the 17 saves, just the confidence that he's continuing the game, and the fact not only is he confident, but you could sense that the team playing in front of him is confident in his ability as well.
Well, he's not given up the soft goals, and that had plagued the Mavericks earlier this year from both goaltenders, and lately he's been just very solid, making the save he was supposed to make. The last 2 weekends, he made some saves that he probably shouldn't have made, especially on Saturday night. He made a couple saves that he had no business making, but he made those as well. So when you get a goalie making the saves you're supposed to and making a couple extra, it makes a big difference for your team.
And of course, we thank Edward Jones for their sponsorship of the save of the game. And again, the Mavericks out shooting Alabama Huntsville tonight from a total of 46-17. And in the end of the night, it's a 4-0 win for this Maverick team. So they get the first of the 2-game series. And we'll tee things up again tomorrow night with a reminder that we're on the air 7 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:07 is the face-off from downtown Mankato as the Mavericks will entertain this Charger team one more time from Alabama Huntsville. I'm Don Westfall along with Dan McCarker and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College. We thank you for watching, and we anticipate seeing you tomorrow night as well. We'll see if the Mavericks can ride out another sweep. Back-to-back sweeps last week was Bemidji State, and they open up things tonight, a 4-0 win over Alabama Huntsville.